You know, sometimes in life you wake up feeling like something's missing, like there's a fire burning deep inside, but you can't quite put your finger on what's fueling it. Restless, unsettled, as if you're living someone else's story instead of your own. I want you to know that feeling now, that deep ache in your soul, that's your why trying to break free. These are the 3 P's that make. It's your heart screaming for purpose. It's the whisper of greatness calling you from within. But here's the truth and tell you what your why is. Nobody can hand it to you on a silver platter. The 3 P's that make. You've got to dig deep. You've got to uncover it. You've got to wrestle with your fears and doubts until you find that one thing that makes your spirit roar. When I was young, I didn't know my why either. 3 P's that make. I knew I wanted something bigger, something better, but I didn't know what it looked like. And so I started asking myself the questions no one else wanted to ask. 3 P's that make. I began by paying attention to my pain, because pain is a powerful teacher. It showed me where I needed to grow. I realized that every setback, every struggle was not just something to overcome, but a message. The first step in discovering your why is to listen closely to the whispers of your own heart, especially when life knocks you down. You see, there's a unique power in understanding your pain and using it as fuel. When I lost everything I thought I had, I discovered I had something far greater inside me, resilience. And that resilience was rooted in my why. It was to prove to the world, and most importantly to myself, 3 P's that make, that I was more than my circumstances. But dreaming big is not enough. You have to give yourself permission without apology. Dream as if your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. There is a sacredness to your dream, a calling that is bigger than fear of failure. When you embrace that, you allow yourself to see beyond your current reality and into the realm of possibility. Now, this is important. 3 P's that make. Your dreams must be written down. Don't just keep them swirling in your head like a storm, and tangible. When I started writing my dreams, they stopped being illusions and started becoming blueprints for action. Writing your why on paper makes it real. It gives you clarity and a roadmap to follow. And clarity brings focus. These are the make. You can't chase every shiny thing that crosses your path and expect to find your why. You have to narrow your gaze. Focus on what makes your soul sing, what lights you up inside. 3 P's that make. Focus it sharp and unwavering. It cuts through doubt and distraction. I want to tell you a story about a young woman I met once who dreamed of becoming a singer. She was terrified. She doubted her voice, but she remembered why she loved music, to touch lives and heal hearts. That why pushed her through years of struggle, rejection, and self-doubt until her voice was heard by millions. You see, these are the 3 P's that make. When your why is clear, endurance, it gives you passion, and it keeps you showing up even when the world says no. Next, surround yourself with those who believe in your why. 3 P's that make. Your environment either propels you forward or holds you back. I've seen many give up because they were drowning in negativity or surrounded by people who couldn't see their vision. 3 P's that make. You have to cultivate a circle of champion mentors and supporters who remind you of your why when you forget. And here's the truth. Many miss your why is not just about you. It's bigger than your personal ambition. P's that make. It's tied to contribution. When you connect your dreams to how you can serve others, your motivation multiplies. You move from wanting something for yourself to needing to bring something to the world. That shift changes everything. But even with a burning why, action is non-negotiable. Dreams without action remain fantasies. You've got to take the first step, no matter how small or uncertain. When I was starting out, my first steps were shaky, but I took them anyway. Every step forward, no matter how imperfect, builds momentum. Consistency is the quiet hero of all success stories. Your why keeps you moving. These are the 3 P's that make, but consistency keeps you growing. You may not see progress every day, but the rhythm of daily action creates a force that can't be stopped. Make your actions non-negotiable. These 3 P's that may. Let your why be the fuel that drives you out of bed, even when it's hard. Now, failure will come. It's guaranteed. But here's the secret. Failure is not the enemy of your why. It's your ally. Failure teaches you. P's that make, refines you and sharpens your purpose. I've failed more times than I can count, but each time I stood up stronger because my why was bigger than my failures. And when doubt creeps in, and it will, you must silence it with faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, and faith in the power of your why. I want you to imagine your why as a flame burning inside you. The 3 P's that make. A light never goes out no matter how dark the night. Faith is the fuel that keeps that flame alive. Remember to celebrate your progress along the way. Too often, these are the 3 P's that make. We're so focused on the destination that we forget to honor how far we've come. Every victory, every lesson learned is a brick laid on the foundation of your dream. Many take time to recognize those moments. They remind you why you started. Lastly, be patient with yourself. The discovery of your why is a journey, not a race. Some of the greatest souls took years to find their purpose. These are the 3 P's that make. Don't rush the process. Trust that with each day, each experience, you're moving closer to the life you were meant to live. So, let me remind you, your why is the pulse of your life, the force behind your dreams. These are the 3 P's that make. It's the reason you wake up each morning ready to fight for what matters. It's the voice that calls you to greatness when the world tells you to settle. When you discover your deep why, 3 P's that make, you unlock a power inside you that no one can take away. Listen to your pain and struggles. Pain is one of the most profound teachers we will ever encounter in life. It's uncomfortable. It's raw. Three P's that make, and often it's something we want to avoid or suppress. But if you want to discover your deep why, you cannot run from your pain. You must learn to listen to it. The moments when life knocks you down, when your heart breaks or your spirit feels crushed, those moments are not just trials to survive, they are messages waiting to be heard. Your pain carries clues about your purpose. These are the three P's that make. It points you toward the parts of your life that need attention, healing, and transformation. Think about the times in your life when you felt most broken or lost. Maybe it was a failure or a loss, a betrayal, P's that make, or a moment when you felt invisible and unheard. That pain is the soil in which your why can grow if you allow it. But to do that, you have to become willing to face it honestly. These are the three P's that make. You have to stop running from your struggles and instead ask yourself what they are trying to teach you. Why did this happen? What does this hurt reveal about what you value deeply? What dream or desire was blocked or threatened? Listening to your pain means allowing yourself to sit with it without judgment. It means resisting the urge to numb it with distractions, addictions, or avoidance. When you lean into your pain, you begin to understand yourself more clearly. You start to see the patterns in your struggles, perhaps a recurring fear, a limiting belief, or an unmet need that has been shaping your decisions. Three, that is powerful because your why is connected to the unmet needs and desires that your pain highlights. For example, someone who grew up feeling unloved or unworthy might find their why rooted in creating unconditional love for others. Three P's that make. Someone who faced injustice or discrimination might discover their purpose in fighting for equality and justice. Your pain is the birthplace of empathy, compassion, and determination, qualities that fuel meaningful dreams and actions. Without acknowledging that pain, your why remains buried beneath layers of fear and denial. Listening to pain also requires vulnerability. Call the three P's that make. It's not easy to admit that you're hurting, especially in a world that often tells us to be strong and hide our weaknesses. But vulnerability is the doorway to authenticity, and authenticity is where your true why lives. When you're honest with yourself about your struggles, you align more deeply with who you really are and what you truly want. This alignment creates an unshakable foundation for your dreams. One of the most important parts of listening to your pain is learning to reframe it. Pain does not have to be a permanent state or a sentence to suffering. Instead, it can be transformed into fuel. These are the three P's that make. When you identify the lesson in your pain, it gives you clarity on what to pursue and what to avoid. It sharpens your vision and strengthens your resolve. The three P's that make. Many great leaders and change makers started their journeys with deep wounds. Nelson Mandela's years of imprisonment, Oprah Winfrey's childhood trauma, Les Brown's own struggles with adoption and poverty. Three, they didn't let pain define them, they let it refine them. But this process of listening to pain is not about self-pity or dwelling in despair. It's about respect for your own story and recognizing that your experiences, both the highs and the lows, have purpose. When you honor your pain, you honor your growth. You learn to treat your struggles as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Listening to your struggles also opens the door to self-compassion. Often, these are the three P's that make. People are harsh and unforgiving toward themselves for the mistakes they've made or the hardships they've endured. But if you want to discover your why, you must learn to speak kindly to your own soul. Treat yourself with the same patience and understanding you would offer a dear friend who's hurting. This compassionate inner dialogue helps you heal and moves you closer to your purpose. The process of listening to your pain is ongoing. Your why may reveal itself slowly, like a seed breaking through the soil after a long winter. Each time you confront your struggles with courage and openness, three P's that make. You peel back another layer of resistance. You gain insight into what truly matters and what lights a fire inside of you. The three P's that make. You start to understand that your pain is not a burden to carry, but a beacon guide you toward a life of meaning. Remember, the world is full of noise and distractions. And sometimes it's easy to ignore the whispers of your heart. But when you take the time to listen deeply to your pain and your struggles, you create space for transformation. You allow you to emerge from the ashes of your past hardships, ready to lead you toward a future filled with purpose and passion. So, if you want to discover your deep why, start by turning inward. The three P's that make. Sit quietly with your pain. Ask it questions. Be honest and gentle with yourself. Your struggles are not your enemy. They are your teachers, your signposts, your allies on this journey. Listen well. Three P's that make. And your why will begin to reveal itself with clarity and power, unlocking the path to your greatest dreams and highest calling. Give yourself self-permission to dream. There is a powerful truth in this life that many overlook. The first step to greatness is giving yourself hope. Permission to believe, permission to dream beyond the limitations imposed by fear, doubt, or the voices of others. You see, many people live small because they never gave themselves the right to dream big. They stay stuck inside boxes built by society, by circumstance, or by their own inner critics. But the truth is, a greatness begins the moment you allow yourself to imagine a life bigger than what you see right now. Dreaming big is not a reckless act of fantasy. It's a bold declaration of faith in yourself and your potential. These are the three P's that make. It's a statement that says, I refuse to settle. I refuse to be limited. But before you can take that stand, you have to quiet the inner voice that says, who do you think you are? You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. That voice is a liar, designed to keep you safe in your comfort zone, but robbing you of your destiny. These are the 3 P's that make. Giving yourself permission to dream big means rejecting those lies and stepping into your own power. It means telling yourself that your vision is valid, that your desires matter, and that your dreams are worth chasing. These are the 3 P's that make. It's an act of courage. It's saying to the world, and more important to yourself, that you are worthy of abundant success, joy, and fulfillment. When I say dream big, I don't just mean setting lofty goals. I mean allowing yourself to see beyond your current reality and envision a future so compelling that it lights a fire inside you. These are the 3 P's that makes. It's the kind of dream that wakes you up in the middle of the night and keeps you up with excitement. It's the dream that moves you to action because it resonates with the deepest parts of your soul. Many of us carry invisible chains forged by limiting beliefs. I'm too old. I don't have enough education. I'm not talented enough. But permission to dream big shatters those chains. It liberates you from the prison of small thinking and opens the door to possibilities you never imagined. Remember, some of the greatest achievements in history began with a dream that others called impossible. Dreamed of equality when the world said no. Oprah Winfrey dreamed of success when she came from nothing. Les Brown himself dreamed of a voice and a platform when others told him he was jukably mentally retarded. Dreaming big also requires kindness toward yourself. Too often. Peers that make. We dismiss our dreams because they seem too ambitious or because we compare ourselves to others. But your dreams are unique to you. They are a reflection of your passions, your gifts, and your calling. These that make. Giving yourself permission to dream big means honoring that uniqueness and refusing to minimize your vision just to fit in. Sometimes society teaches us to be practical, to be realistic, to aim for what's possible. But let me tell you something, realistic can often mean safe. But safe is not where greatness lies. Greatness is found on the edge of your comfort zone. In the realm of bold, audacious dreams that challenge the status quo. When you give yourself permission to dream big, you step out of survival mode and into a mindset of thriving. You have to understand that dreaming big is also an act of self-love. When you allow yourself to dream on a grand scale, you are telling yourself that your life matters, that you deserve happiness and success. Say that your contribution to this world is needed. And that belief is the foundation for everything else that follows. Moreover, giving yourself permission to dream big fuels your motivation and resilience. When your vision is compelling and expansive, it creates a magnetic pull inside you. It's what keeps you going when the road gets tough and when obstacles seem insurmountable. These are the 3 P's that make. Your dream becomes your why, the reason you wake up and keep pushing forward. Many times, people stop dreaming because they think the dream is out of reach or that they don't have the resources. But permission to dream big reminds you that your starting point does not determine your finish line. Every giant leap begins with a single bold step rooted in belief. The dream is the blueprint. The work is the foundation. These are 3 P's that make. Remember, giving yourself permission to dream big also means giving yourself the freedom to fail, to learn, and to grow. Big dreams come with big challenges, but they also come with big rewards. The 3 P's that make. You must be willing to risk discomfort, uncertainty, and even rejection. That's the price of admission to a life of significance. And here's the beautiful part. When you give yourself permission to dream big, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage creates a ripple effect that touches lives beyond what you can imagine. You become a beacon of possibility in a world that desperately needs hope. So, the 3 P's is that if you want to move forward, if you want to discover your deep why, start by giving yourself permission to dream without limits. Refuse to let fear, doubt, or past failures dictate the size of your vision. The 3 P's, that your dreams are not a mistake or a fantasy. They are your soul's roadmap. Honor them, protect them, pursue them with relentless passion. Because the world doesn't need small dreams. It needs your big dream. And you P's that make. My friend, are the only one who can give yourself that permission. Write your dreams down. There is something magical, almost sacred about putting your dreams into words on a page. These are the 3's to make. Writing your dreams down is more than just a practical step. It is the act of transforming the invisible into something tangible. When you take your hopes, visions, and deepest desires and commit them to paper, 3 P's that make. You give them power. You turn a fleeting thought or a vague idea into a clear, concrete intention that your mind and heart can hold on to. Many people underestimate this simple act. These are the 3 P's that make, but it's one of the most powerful tools in the journey to discovering your deep why and making your dreams a reality. When you write your dreams down, you create a roadmap, a blueprint that guides your daily decisions and actions. Without that written clarity, dreams remain abstract and easily forgotten. P's that make, slipping through the cracks of busy schedules and the noise of everyday life. Writing down your dreams forces you to slow down and focus. And it invites you to explore your vision in detail, to paint the picture of your ideal life with words. How do you want to feel? What kind of work excites you? What relationships do you want to nurture? Make, where do you see yourself in 5, 10, or 20 years? When you answer these questions on paper, you deepen your connection to your why. You move from wishful thinking to intentional planning. There is also a neurological benefit to writing down your dreams. Science tells us that when we write things by hand, the brain engages differently than when we simply think or speak. Writing activates areas of the brain linked to memory, creativity, and goal setting. This means your written dreams become more real, more accessible, and more ingrained in your subconscious mind. 3 Ps that make. The subconscious then works behind the scenes, aligning your thoughts, actions, and even opportunities with the vision you've created. Another powerful aspect of writing your dreams down is accountability. These are the 3 Ps that make. When your dreams live only in your head, they are easy to dismiss or forget when faced with challenges. But when they are written, you have a reference point to return to remind yourself of what you're working for. Are the 3 Ps that make. It becomes a commitment you make to yourself. And commitment is the foundation of discipline and perseverance. Writing also helps you identify the obstacles and fears that stand in your way. These S. Now, as you express your dreams on paper, you might notice doubts creeping in or questions arising. Is this really possible? What if I fail? Who am I to dream this big? Writing gives you the opportunity to confront these fears honestly. You can journal about them, explore their origins, and then begin to dismantle them one by one. This process of self-reflection through writing is healing and empowering. Think about the great visionaries throughout history. Did they keep their dreams only in their heads? They sketched, journaled, planned, and documented their aspirations. Leonardo da Vinci's notebooks, Martin Luther King Jr.'s speeches and writings, 3 that make. Oprah Winfrey's vision boards and journals, all these examples of how writing fuels action and progress. Your dream deserves that same respect. The other 3 Ps that make. Your written dreams are also a source of inspiration when the going gets tough. On days when motivation feels low or doubts threaten to overwhelm you, reading back over your dreams reminds you why you started. These are the 3 Ps that make. It rekindles the passion and excitement that sparked your journey. It keeps your focus sharp and your heart connected to the bigger picture. Writing your dreams down can take many forms, whether it's a detailed journal entry, a list of goals, a letter to your future self, or even a vision board with words and images. The key is that it must be intentional and consistent. Make it a daily or weekly practice to revisit and update your written dreams. As you grow and learn more about yourself, your dreams will evolve, and writing allows you to capture that evolution. The act of writing is also an act of faith. You're telling yourself and the universe, I believe this can happen. I believe I am worthy of this future. This belief is the seed from which all success grows. Without it, your dreams remain distant hopes. With it, they become possibilities within reach. Finally, 3 Ps that make. Writing your dreams down connects your heart and mind in a powerful way. It bridges the gap between logic, between desire and planning. Your heart fuels the passion behind the dream, and your mind organizes the steps needed to bring it to life. Together, they form a force that moves mountains. So, if you want to discover your deep why and bring your dreams into reality, don't just think about them, write them down, make real, honor your vision by giving it permanence of ink and paper. Because when you write your dreams down, you take the first bold step toward making them come true. Gain clarity and focus in the journey toward discovering your deep why. One of the most essential gifts you can give yourself is clarity. Without clarity, your dreams and goals remain a foggy, uncertain vision that struggles to take shape. And without focus, even the clearest vision is powerless. Gaining clarity and focus is like cleaning a dusty window. The clearer the glass, 3 that make. The brighter the light that can shine through. It's the difference between wandering aimlessly and moving purposefully toward your destiny. Clarity begins with asking yourself deep, honest questions. What exactly do you want? What drives you at the core of your being? What would make your life meaningful beyond measure? It's not enough to say, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. Those are broad statements that don't provide direction. You need to dig deeper. Define what success looks like for you specifically. These are the 3 Ps that make. Define what happiness feels like in your soul. What are the things that stir your passion and awaken your spirit? When you answer these questions, you peel back the layers of confusion and doubt that cloud your vision. Ps that make. Sometimes gaining clarity means letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore. It requires pruning your life, cutting out distractions, toxic influences, and outdated beliefs that blur your focus. It's about simplifying your mental space so your mind can concentrate fully on what matters most. Like a camera lens zooming in on its subject, your attention needs to sharpen. After making, this process can be uncomfortable because it demands honesty and sometimes painful decisions. But it is necessary for growth. Focus is the daily practice of keeping your eyes and energy on that clarified vision. Are 3 Ps that make it. The world around you is noisy and full of temptations that pull you off course. Social media, negative people, procrastination. These are just some of the forces that chip away at your focus. Gaining focus means training your mind to say no to distractions and yes to actions aligned with your why. These are the 3 Ps that are important to understand that focus is not about doing everything all at once. It's about prioritizing what truly matters. It's about selecting a few key goals or habits that will move you forward and dedicating yourself to them relentlessly. When your goals are clear, for me, that focus comes naturally because your efforts are directed at something meaningful. This alignment between clarity and focus creates momentum. Momentum that carries you over obstacles and through moments of doubt. But one of the best ways to gain clarity is to spend time in solitude and reflection. In our busy world, silence is a rare and precious commodity. But when you create space away from the noise, 3 V's that make. You give your mind room to breathe and your heart room to speak. Meditation, journaling, or simply walking in nature can help you access that quiet inner voice that knows your true desires. This clarity is not rushed. It unfolds over time as you listen patiently to yourself. Focus also grows stronger when you develop routines and habits that support your vision. This could be as simple as starting your day with a clear intention, setting aside time for goal review, or using tools like planners and reminders to keep your objectives front and center. The more you reinforce your priorities, the less likely you are to be derailed by distractions. There's also power in clarity and focus when it comes to decision making. When your purpose is clear, decisions become easier. You no longer get stuck in analysis paralysis, or second guessing, because your why acts as your internal compass. Each choice is weighed against the question. Choices that make, does this move me closer to my dream or pull me away? This eliminates wasted time and energy on things that don't serve your path. Clarity and focus are also deeply connected to your emotional and mental well-being. These are the 3s that make. When your vision is gutted, you feel overwhelmed and stressed. But when you gain clarity, you experience a sense of peace and confidence. You know where you're going, and that certainly fuels resilience. The 3 P's that make: focus sharpens your mental muscles, enabling you to work with greater efficiency and joy. Another critical aspect is surrounding yourself with clarity and focus. Your environment matters, people who support your vision. 3 P's that make: resources that inspire you and spaces that encourage productivity all contribute to maintaining your mental clarity. Conversely, environments cluttered with negativity or chaos drain your focus. Curate your surroundings to nurture your goals. Remember, clarity and focus are not destinations but ongoing practices. Life changes, and so do your dreams and circumstances. Regularly revisiting your goals, refining your vision, and resetting your focus ensures you stay aligned with your evolving why. This dynamic process keeps your passion alive and your efforts relevant. As you gain clarity and focus, 3 P's that make: you unlock the ability to harness your energy with purpose. You begin to move not as a ship tossed by waves, but as a vessel steered by a confident captain toward a meaningful shore. May this powerful combination is what separates those who merely dream from those who make their dreams come true. In essence, clarity is your made sharp, and focus is your will made strong. Together, they illuminate your path and empower you to walk it with determination and grace. So invest in gaining clarity and cultivating focus every day, and watch how your dreams transform into your lived reality. These are the 3 P's that make. Surround yourself with supportive people. One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, factors in discovering your deep why and pursuing your dreams is the company you keep. 3 P's that make. The people you surround yourself with, those voices you hear daily, the energies you share your time with, have a profound impact on your mindset, motivation, and momentum. To truly grow, to push beyond your limits, 3 P's that make. And to step into the fullness of your potential, you must intentionally surround yourself with supportive people. Supportive people are not just cheerleaders who clap from the sidelines. These are the 3 P's that make. They are the ones who believe in your vision even when you struggle to see it yourself. They challenge you with love, hold you accountable with care. They're the thieves that means that and lift you up when the weight of the journey feels too heavy to bear alone. These are the people who see the greatness inside you, even on your darkest days, and remind you that you are capable of more than you realize. So the influence of your inner circle can make or break your progress. Think about it, negativity breeds negativity, doubt fosters doubt, but encouragement ignites courage. Key hunts that make: if you constantly hear words of discouragement or are surrounded by people who don't believe in your dreams, it's easy to start doubting yourself. Your energy drains, your confidence fades, and your focus wavers. On the other hand, when your circle radiates positivity, faith, and determination, it fuels your own fire. It motivates you to keep showing up, to keep moving forward, even when the road is rough. P's that make. Surrounding yourself with supportive people also means seeking out mentors and role models, those who walked the path before you and can offer wisdom, guidance, and perspective. Mentors not only provide practical advice, but also model resilience and grit. They help you avoid pitfalls and see possibilities that you might have missed. Their belief in you can become a cornerstone of your own belief. 3 that make. Strengthening your resolve to pursue your why. Supportive people are also those who listen without judgment. When you're struggling, they offer a safe space to share your fears, frustrations, and failures. Because this emotional support is vital, because the pursuit of big dreams is never without setbacks. Being vulnerable with someone who truly cares can refresh your spirit and remind you that you're not alone. These are the 3 P's that make. It breaks this isolation can so often come with chasing something extraordinary. It's important to understand that not everyone currently in your life will be part of this supportive circle. Sometimes 3 P's that make. Growth requires pruning. That means creating boundaries or even stepping away from relationships that drain your energy or sow doubt. This is not about abandoning people, but about protecting your mental and emotional health. Consistently undermines your efforts or belittles your dreams. No matter how close they are, it's time to reconsider the role they play in your life. You deserve relationships that nurture your growth. These are the 3 P's that make. Building a supportive network also involves giving back. Support is reciprocal. When you uplift others, share your encouragement, and celebrate their victories, you create a positive cycle that strengthens everyone involved. These are short of three peers that make this mutual support system becomes a powerful force that propels each person toward their why, builds community, a tribe bound not just by friendship but by shared purpose and belief. In this digital age, surrounding yourself with supportive people doesn't have to be limited by geography. Online communities, groups, and networks can offer connection, encouragement, and resources. 3P designing, find like-minded individuals, share your goals and values can be just as impactful as in-person relationships. These connections broaden your perspective, introduce you to new ideas. 3Ps that make and remind you that your dream is possible and worth pursuing. The impact of supportive people goes beyond motivation. They also hold you accountable. Accountability partners push you to stay consistent. These are the 3Ps that make, to follow through on your commitments. They ask the tough questions when you're tempted to slack off and celebrate the small wins that keep you encouraged. This accountability is a cornerstone of lasting success because it transforms intentions into action. More of a supportive people inspire you to become your best self. Their energy challenges you to elevate your standards. 3Ps that make to stretch beyond comfort zones and to dream bigger. They help you see possibilities rather than obstacles and empower you to take risks knowing you have a safety net of encouragement. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is a deliberate, ongoing process. It requires you be intentional about who you invite into your life and how you nurture those relationships. It requires discernment, openness. Hands are the 3Ps that make, and sometimes it's courage to change the dynamics of your social circle. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you have a tribe of people who genuinely believe in you, who invest in your growth, and who inspire you daily, your journey becomes not only easier but also more joyful. Their support acts as a powerful fuel for your heart and mind, keeping your focus sharp and your spirit resilient. In the pursuit of your deep why, there's already 3Ps that make. Don't underestimate the power of connection. Build and cherish relationships that lift you higher, that push you forward, that remind you every day that your dreams are valid and achievable. Because no one climbs the mountain of greatness alone. Supportive people are the steady hands that help you rise. Connect your why to contribution. In the heart of discovering your deep why lies a truth that transcends personal ambition. Your purpose gains power and meaning when it's connected to contribution. When your dreams serve not only yourself but also others, your why evolves from a mere desire into a force that can transform lives, including your own. To connect your why to contribution is to tap into a profound source of motivation that carries you through challenges and fuels lasting fulfillment. At its core, contribution is about giving, offering your unique gift. 3Ps that make, talents and passions to make a difference in the world around you. When you align your why with contribution, your goals become bigger than you. 3Ps that make. You are no longer just chasing success for personal gain, but creating impact that ripples outward. This connection injects your purpose with soul and resilience because it's rooted in service, love. 3Ps are to uplift others. The journey toward this realization often begins with self-reflection. Ask yourself, what problems do I care about deeply? What injustices stir my heart? Ps that make. Where do I see needs that align with my talents? Your contribution does not have to be grandiose or publicized. Sometimes it starts small with a kind word, a helping hand, or sharing knowledge with someone who needs it. These are the 3Ps that make. These small acts are the seeds of a greater legacy. When your why is contribution, every setback and struggle takes on new meaning. Keys. Make the challenges no longer feel like personal, but as tests of your commitment to something bigger than yourself. This perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and strengthens your resolve. If that make, it fuels your passion because you know your effort serves a greater good. This is the fuel that keeps you going when fatigue and doubt creep in. Connecting your why to contribution also invites humility. These are the 3Ps that make. It reminds you that your success is intertwined with the well-being of others. You begin to see your journey not as a solo climb, but as part of a collective ascent where each person's progress lifts the whole community. This mindset shifts your focus from me to we, fostering collaboration, empathy, and a sense of belonging. Contribution doesn't mean you sacrifice your dreams or diminish your ambitions. Instead, it enriches them. When you put in goals that help others, whether through creating jobs, mentoring, advocating for justice, or simply spreading hope, you build a legacy that outlasts fleeting achievements. 3P, you create a life story that inspires future generations and adds meaning to your own existence. One powerful way to connect your why to contribution is to identify how your skills and passions meet the needs of others. These are the 3Ps that make. For example, if you have a gift for teaching, consider how you can empower those around you to learn and grow. If creativity flows through you, think about how your art or ideas can uplift spirits or challenge the status quo. P is that make. When your talents serve a purpose beyond yourself, your work becomes a form of contribution and your why to be clear and compelling. Moreover, contribution encourages continuous learning and growth. When you commit to serving others, you expose yourself to new perspectives, challenges, and opportunities for self-improvement. This ongoing development enriches your journey and deepens your connection to your why. It creates a cycle where giving and growing fuel each other, expanding your impact and your sense of fulfillment. Connecting your why to contribution also opens doors to collaboration. When others recognize your genuine desire to make a positive difference, they're more likely to support, join, and amplify your efforts. If relationships built on shared purpose become powerful networks that propel your dreams forward. Contribution creates community, and community fuels success. Finally, a one contribution aligns your purpose with timeless principles that resonate deeply within us all. How do 3 Ps that make? It echoes wisdom found in the greatest teachings and philosophies that a life well lived is one dedicated to the service of others. This alignment brings peace and satisfaction that no material success alone can provide. When you connect your wider contribution, your journey transforms from a pursuit of personal gain to a mission of meaningful impact. This connection infuses your dreams with heart, power, and purpose. The 3 Ps that make it sustains you through challenges, deepens your fulfillment, and magnifies your legacy. Your why becomes a beacon not just for your own life, but for the lives you touch and inspire along the way. Take the first step toward action. There is a moment, often brief, but incredibly powerful, that separates dreaming from doing. That moment when you decide to take the first step toward action. 3 Ps that make. It's not always grand or monumental. Sometimes it's simply the act of moving forward when your heart is pounding with fear, doubt, and uncertainty. But taking that first step is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the moment you claim your power and say, I am ready. So many people get stuck in the paralysis of planning. 3 Ps make waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, or the perfect clarity. But here's what you need to know: perfection is a myth. Waiting for the right moment often means waiting forever. The truth is, the 3 Ps that make. The first step is often imperfect, shaky, and riddled with uncertainty. But it's necessary. It is the spark that ignites the flame of your dreams into reality. Taking the first step is an act of courage. It means embracing vulnerability and stepping into the unknown. When you do this, you break free from the chains of fear that bind you. Fear says, what if you fail? But action says, these are the 3 that, what if you succeed? Every great journey begins with a single step. Imagine if the heroes you admire, whether they are pioneers, artists, leaders, or ordinary people, had waited until they felt ready. These are the 3 Ps that make. They wouldn't be legends, they'd be stories of what could have been. You don't have to know the entire path before you begin. Often the path becomes clear only after you take the first step. 3 Ps that make. When you move forward, even just a little momentum builds. You gain confidence with every action, and the unknown starts to look less intimidating. You start learning, adjusting, and growing in ways you never could have imagined if you stayed frozen in place. Taking the first step means shifting your mindset from I wish to I will. It means committing to your why with your actions. These are the 3 Ps that words. It means showing up for yourself even when it feels uncomfortable or scary. When you take that step, you're telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that your dreams matter. These are 3 Ps that you are worth the effort and your purpose deserves to be pursued. Sometimes the first step is as simple as making a phone call, writing an email, doing research, or setting aside time to work on your goal. That hasn't to be huge or perfect. It just has to be forward moving. This step signals to your mind and spirit that you're serious. It creates a ripple effect that affects every part of your life. The power of the first step is amplified when you break your bigger goals into manageable chunks. Instead of being overwhelmed by the mountain ahead, focus on that first rock you can move. Once that's done, the 3 Ps that make. Look for the next one. This approach helps you stay grounded, motivated, and less prone to procrastination. Taking the first step also builds resilience. Each small victory, each movement forward, even if imperfect, Ps that make. Strengthen yourself. It teaches you that you can handle uncertainty and adapt to challenges. You learn that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to improvement. Remember, taking action is not about being flawless. It's about being persistent. It's about choosing progress over perfection, movement over stagnation. When you take that first step, you open the door to possibility. Because you know, the 3 Ps that make, the doors you didn't know exist will appear and opportunities will come to meet you. Sometimes you might stumble or face setbacks after taking the first step. That's natural. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Ps that make. Action creates feedback loops. It shows you what works and what doesn't. This information is invaluable as you refine your approach and grow stronger. Taking the first step also inspires those around you. Your courage becomes a beacon, encouraging others to start their own journeys. Creates a community of doers and dreamers united by action and purpose. In the end, the journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single step. Don't let fear, doubt, or hesitation hold you back. Embrace the discomfort of beginning, because it's the only way to transform your why into reality. 3 Ps that make. That first step is yours to take right now, right here. Claim it and watch how your world begins to change. Build consistency through daily habits. Consistency is the quiet powerhouse behind every success story. These makes. It's the rhythm of small, intentional actions repeated day after day that shapes our future and then builds a foundation for lasting achievement. When you commit to building daily habits aligned with your deep why, you unlock a force that propels you forward, even when motivation wanes or challenges arise. Consistency transforms dreams from fleeting ideas into unstoppable realities. Daily habits are the bricks in the wall of success. Each action, no matter how small, adds up over time. It's easy to underestimate the power of 1 minute spent on your goal, but multiply that by days, weeks, Three P's that make, and months, and you'll find yourself standing on a mountain you built with your own hands. The secret is not in giant leaps, but in steady, purposeful steps. These are the 3 P's that make. Building consistency requires discipline that kind of comes different from loving your why so deeply that you refuse to let excuses stand in your way. I mean, showing up for yourself, even on days when you feel tired. These are that make distracted or uncertain, and habits are the bridge between knowing what to do and actually doing it. They carry you forward when willpower flickers, becoming automatic actions that keep your momentum alive. P's that make. Think of consistency as a muscle that strengthens with use. When you practice daily habits, you train your mind and body to align with your vision. Over time, these habits become part of your identity. You don't have to think about them, they become who you are. This shift from effortful action to effortless routine is the key to sustained progress. Consistency also builds trust within yourself. Peace that make. Every time you honor your commitment to a daily habit, you enforce your belief that you are reliable and capable. This internal trust is crucial because it creates a foundation of confidence that spills over to all areas of your life. When you trust yourself, you are more willing to take risks, embrace challenges, difficulties. One practical way to build consistency is to start small. Choose habits that are manageable and directly connected to your why. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, are the 3 P's that make. Begin the 5-minute morning stretch or a glass of water first thing. If your dream is to write a book, commit to writing just 1 paragraph a day. Small habits create momentum without overwhelming you, making it easy to stick with them. Tracking your progress can also reinforce consistency. When you see your daily habits add up on a calendar or journal, it creates a sense of accomplishment and accountability. These are 3 P's that make. This visual proof of your efforts inspires you to keep going, turning the process into a rewarding journey rather than a chore. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. 3 P's that make. There will be days when you miss a habit or fall short. That's part of the process. What matters most is that you get back on track without judgment or delay. The 3 come and yourself in recommitting to your habit strengthens your resilience and keeps your progress moving forward. Another powerful element in building consistency is creating an environment that supports your habits. Surround yourself with reminders of your why and remove distractions that pull you off course. Whether it's setting a specific time for your habit, organizing your space, or sharing your goals with a trusted friend, these strategies make it easier to maintain your daily actions. Consistency also shapes your mindset. When you commit to habits that reflect your deepest purpose, you reinforce a positive self-image. You begin to see yourself as a person who takes action, stays dedicated, and honors your dreams. This identity shift fuels motivation and attracts opportunities that align with your vision. The beauty of daily habits is that they create a ripple effect. One positive action leads to another, and soon you find yourself living a life that reflects your deepest why in every choice you make. These are the 3 P's that make. Your habits become a legacy, a testament through community courage. Building consistency through daily habits is not just a strategy, it's a lifestyle. It's the art of showing up again and again. These are the 3 P's that make, with purpose and passion. It's the quiet force that turns your why into a living, breathing reality. When you master this, you don't just chase your dreams, you live them every single day. 3 P's that make. Learn and grow from failure. Failure is often seen as the enemy of success, the dark shadow that threatens to consume our dreams. But what if I told you that failure is not your enemy, but one of your greatest teachers? 3 P's that make. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter, a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. When you learn to embrace failure, understand it, and grow from it, it's where you unlock a strength that propels you closer to your dreams with every setback. Every successful person you admire has faced failure. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Pillars that make. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. These stories are not exceptions, they are the rule. Failure is part of the journey. These are the 3 P's that make. It is the proving ground where your resilience is forged and your character is tested. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in the ability to learn and grow from failure. When failure strikes, P's that make. The first step is to change your mindset about it. Instead of viewing failure as a reflection of your worth or a permanent defeat, see it as feedback, an essential guide that tells you what's not working and how you can improve. Failure is a signal, not a stop sign. Directs you to rethink, adjust, and refine your approach. The 3 P's that make. This shift in perspective turns failure from a source of shame into a powerful tool for learning. Learning from failure requires honesty and self-reflection. It means asking yourself difficult questions. What went wrong? The P that make. What could I have done differently? What lessons can I extract from this experience? This process is not about self-criticism, but about gathering wisdom. Every failure carries a lesson wrapped in discomfort. 3 P's your job to unwrap it. By doing so, you transform pain into progress. Growth happens when you take those lessons and apply them moving forward. Failure offers clarity on your weaknesses and areas for improvement. The 3 Ds that make. It challenges you to develop new skills, deepen, strengthen your mindset. Growth is born from this continuous cycle of trial, error, reflection, and adaptation. Beg. It's an ongoing evolution that shapes you into a more capable, wiser, and more resilient person. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds you that success is not guaranteed and that you must remain humble, curious, and open to learning. This humility keeps you grounded and connected to your purpose. It helps you appreciate progress rather than perfection, celebrate small victories, and stay motivated through challenges. When you learn, grow from failure, you also build resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger each time you fall. Resilience is the backbone of perseverance. These are the 3 P's that make. It's what keeps you moving when the world tells you to quit. Each failure you overcome adds to your mental toughness and emotional strength. It builds an unshakable belief that no matter what happens, these are the 3 P's that make. We'll keep pushing forward. Another important of growing from failure is sharing your experiences. When you open up about your setbacks, you not only lighten your own burden, but also inspire others. The 3 P's that make. Your willingness to be vulnerable shows others that failure is not a disgrace, but a step on the path to success. This connection builds a supportive community where learning from failure becomes a shared journey. So the 3 P's that make. Failure also invites creativity and innovation. But one way it doesn't work. Failure forces you to think outside the box and find new solutions. It sparks ingenuity and pushes you beyond your comfort zone. That make. This creative problem solving is essential for achieving breakthroughs and reaching higher levels of success. It's important to remember that failure is temporary. It does not define your future unless you let it. What defines your future is how you respond to failure. Do you let it stop you, or do you let it teach you? Do you let it break your spirit, or do you let it build your strength? Your response to failure writes your story. P's and make. Learning and growing for the failure of self-discovery. It reveals your true character, your passion, and your purpose. It challenges you to rise above fear, doubt, and discouragement. 30 P's that make. It equips you with the wisdom and resilience needed to turn your dreams into reality. Failure is not something to fear, but something to welcome. It is the fire that tempers your spirit and the wind that fills your sails. When you embrace failure as a teacher, you step into a new level of growth, power, and potential. You learn that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a vital part of it. Silenced doubt with faith. Doubt is one of the loudest enemies you will face on your journey toward discovering your deep why. It sneaks into your mind like a whisper at first, questioning your abilities, your worth, your dreams, and before you know it, doubt becomes a roaring storm that threatens to drown out your passion and purpose. P's that make. But here's the truth. Doubt only has the power you give it. And the way to silence doubt is with something far stronger, faith. Faith is not just religious belief, it's a deep, unwavering trust in yourself, your purpose, and the process of life. It's the inner voice that says, even though I cannot see the whole path, these are the 3 P's that make. I believe in my ability to walk it. Faith is the force that holds you steady when fear and uncertainty want to pull you under. When doubt creeps in, faith rises up and says, I will keep moving forward. Silencing doubt with faith begins with understanding where doubt comes from. Often, doubt stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. 3 P's that make. It is fueled by past years or the negative voices we carry from others or even ourselves. But faith calls us to look beyond those fears and to see the bigger picture. It invites us to remember that our dreams are valid and worthy no matter the obstacles. Faith is a muscle that must be exercised regularly. P's that make. You build it by reminding yourself of your purpose, your why, and by reflecting on the times you have already overcome challenges. Remember those moments when you doubted yourself, but still pushed through and succeeded. Those victories, no matter how small, are proof that you are capable. Holding on to these memories strengthens your faith and weakens doubt's grip. Another way to silence doubt is to fill your mind with faith-filled affirmations. When negative thoughts arise, counter them with positive truths about who you are and what you can achieve. Say to yourself, I am capable. I am worthy. My why is bigger than my fear. These affirmations are not empty words. They are declarations of belief that rewire your brain to focus on possibility instead of limitation. Feel the 3 P's that make. Fun. Faith also grows when you connect to something greater than yourself. This could be your spirituality, your community, or your deep commitment to making a difference. P's that make. When you feel connected to a higher purpose or a supportive network, your faith is fortified. You begin to trust that the universe, God, or the collective energy is aligning to support your journey. P that make. Even when the road seems uncrustling, trusting the timing of your life is another critical aspect of silencing doubt. Faith requires patience, believing that things will unfold when they are meant to. The 3 P's that make. You might not see immediate results, but faith tells you to keep planting seeds, keep nurturing your dreams, and trust that the harvest will come. This is a powerful antidote to doubt's impatience and frustration. Find 3 P's. Silencing doubt makes sign out with faith is also about taking action. Faith is also about faith is not passive, it's active trust. It's the courage to step forward when your mind screams, what if you fail? With every step you take, you prove to yourself that faith is stronger than doubt. Action fueled by faith builds momentum, and momentum silences doubt even further. Faith invites you to envision success vividly. When doubt clouds your vision, these are the 3 P's that make. Bring it back to the picture of your dreams fulfilled. See yourself living your purpose with confidence, joy, and impact. This vision is like a lighthouse guiding you through the storm of doubt. The clearer your vision, the louder your faith becomes. At times, silencing doubt requires patience with yourself. It's natural to experience moments of uncertainty, but don't let those moments define you. Recognize doubt as a passing visitor, not a permanent resident. When doubt comes knocking, greet it kindly, but don't invite it to stay. Instead, let faith be the foundation upon which you build your every thought and action. Faith doesn't promise an easy journey. It promises that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength to ride and keep going. It empowers you to believe that every setback, every challenge, artist does that make. Every doubt is just a stepping stone toward the realization of your deep why. In this dance between doubt and faith, faith must lead. It must drown out the noise of uncertainty and remind you who you are and why you are here. When you silence doubt with faith, you open the door to limitless possibilities. You free yourself from the chains of fear and step boldly into the life you were meant to live. So, choose faith today. Here's what that make. Choose to believe in yourself, your purpose, and your journey. Let faith be the voice that silences doubt and the light that guides you through the darkness. Because when faith leads, doubt fades, and your deep why shines brighter than ever before. Celebrate progress along the way in the pursuit of your deep why. 3 P's that make. It's easy to get caught up in the distance between where you are now and where you want to be. The mountain ahead may seem too high, the journey too long, and your dreams too big. But here's a powerful truth. Success is not just about reaching the final destination. It's about honoring every step, every effort, and every small victory along the way. Highest that make. Celebrating progress is not a detour from the journey. It's the fuel that powers it forward. Too many people postpone their joy and satisfaction until the big win comes. They say, these are the 3 P's that make. I'll be happy when I make it, or I'll celebrate when I reach my goal. But what happens when the goal feels distant or the challenges keep piling up? Waiting for some future moment to celebrate robs you of the joy and motivation that is available right now. Recognizing progress, no matter how small, keeps your spirit alive and your momentum moving. These are the 3 P's that make. When you acknowledge that growth is happening, that every time you push through a challenge, learn something new, or make a decision aligned with your why, you are winning. Celebrations do not have to be extravagant or grand. Sometimes it's as simple as a quiet moment of gratitude, a fist pump in the mirror, or sharing your achievement with someone who believes in you. These small acts of celebration reinforce your commitment and build positive energy. Celebrating progress also helps to shift your focus away from perfection. Too often the pursuit of perfection can paralyze us. 3 P's that make. We become so fixated on what's missing or what hasn't been achieved that we overlook how far we've come. When you take time to honor your progress, you learn to appreciate effort over outcome, process over product. 3 P's that make. This mindset shift reduces stress, increases happiness, and encourages resilience. There is a profound psychological effect in recognizing progress. Each celebration releases dopamine. The brains feel good chemical. The other 3, this creates a positive feedback loop where celebrating your efforts motivates you to keep going. It turns hard work into a rewarding experience instead of feeling like a chore. The journey becomes an exciting adventure filled with moments of joy. Celebration is also a form of self-respect. It's a way of telling yourself, I see you. I honor your effort. This recognition nurtures self-confidence and self-worth. When you celebrate progress, you affirm that you deserve success and happiness, not just someday, but right now. These are the 3 P's that make. It empowers you to keep showing up for yourself even when the going gets tough. In addition to personal celebrations, sharing your progress with others magnifies its power. When you share your wins, you invite support, treat the encouragement, and then accountability. The energy from your community can lift you higher, reminding you that you are not alone. Your progress inspires others, and their encouragement fuels your journey. Together, this collective celebration creates a culture of growth and possibility. Celebrating progress also deepens your connection to your why. Every milestone is a reminder of your purpose and the reasons you began this journey. When you pause to celebrate, you reconnect with dreams and renew your passion. This reinforcement keeps your why alive in your heart, driving you to continue moving forward with determination. Sometimes, progress may seem invisible or insignificant compared to your big goals. But every great achievement is made up of countless small steps, like drops of water filling a bucket. Each effort adds up over time. Celebrating those drops keeps the bucket from feeling empty and the journey from feeling hopeless. It's the steady accumulation of progress that ultimately leads to transformation. It's important to celebrate not only your successes, but also the lessons learned from setbacks. Recognizing growth in the face of adversity builds resilience and courage. It reminds you that every experience, good or bad, contributes to your evolution. This holistic celebration nurtures a balanced and healthy mindset where challenges are viewed as opportunities rather than obstacles. To build the habit of celebrating progress, create rituals that resonate with you. This might be journaling your wins, marking milestones on a calendar, treating yourself to something special, or simply pausing for a moment of gratitude each day. These are the 3 P's that make. These rituals serve as anchors, keeping you grounded and motivated throughout your journey. Remember, your deep why is not just about reaching a goal, it's about becoming the person who lives the why every day. Celebrating progress along the way is a powerful way to honor that transformation. It lights up your path with hope and joy, making the journey as meaningful as the destination. So, As you move forward, these are the 3 Ps that make. Take time to celebrate every step. Celebrate your courage, your growth, your persistence, and your victories, big and small. Let each celebration remind you of how far you've come and how much farther you can go. These are the 3 Ps that make. This celebration is your fuel, your strength, and your joy. Embrace it fully and watch how it propels you close to the life your deep why is calling you to live. That make practice patience in your journey. When you set out to discover your deep why and begin the pursuit of your dreams, patience becomes one of your most essential allies. It is a quiet trust that makes steady companion that doesn't rush or force, but instead understands the natural rhythm of growth and transformation. Patience in your journey is not a passive waiting. It is an active. These are the 3 Ps that make courageous choice to keep believing, and even when the results are not immediate or clear. It is the art of trusting the process, even when the path seems long and the progress slow. Trust that make. In today's fast-paced world, patience can feel like an old-fashioned virtue. We live in an era of instant gratification, where everything seems to be just a click away, but dreams, true and deep dreams, Ps that make, do not unfold overnight. They require time, nurturing, and endurance. Without patience, the weight of setbacks, delays, and obstacles can become overwhelming, leading many to give up just before a breakthrough. But patience is what separates those who ultimately succeed from those who quit too soon. Patience means embracing the reality that your journey will have seasons. Just as the seed must lie dormant beneath the soil, before it sprouts, your efforts might not always bear immediate fruit. There will be times when you feel stuck, when your progress is invisible. These are the 3 Ps that make. During these moments, patience teaches you to stay steady, to keep watering your dreams quietly and faithfully. It reminds you that growth is often happening beneath the surface. Even when you cannot see it yet, practicing patience also means being kind to yourself. It's recognizing that setbacks and mistakes are part of the process, not signs of failure. When impatience kicks in, these are the 3 Ps that easily become your harshest critic, berating yourself for not being there yet. But patience invites compassion. It encourages you to treat yourself as you would a friend who is learning and growing. Imperfections, and reminds you that progress is often nonlinear. Another powerful aspect of patience is the ability to remain focused and consistent despite uncertainty. When the end goal feels distant and the next step is unclear, impatience may tempt you to abandon your course or jump into quick fixes. But patience grounds you in persistence. It keeps you showing up, doing the work. 3 Ps that make, and believing in your vision even when the path is foggy. This steady persistence is what ultimately builds momentum and creates breakthroughs. Patience also deepens your understanding of timing. There is a divine order and natural flow to how things unfold in life. When you rush, you might miss important lessons, opportunities, or connections that are necessary for your growth. These are 3 Ps that make. Patience invites you to align with this timing, trusting that everything is happening exactly when it should. This trust frees you from anxiety and frustration and opens your heart to the present moment. The 3 Ps that make. In moments when impatience threatens to overwhelm, grounding practices can help you reconnect with patience. This might be through deep breathing meditation, journaling. These are the 3 Ps that make, or simply stepping back to reflect on how far you've come. These practices calm your mind and remind you that your journey is a process, not a race. They help you stay centered, patient, and open to what's unfolding. Patience also enhances your resilience. It strengthens your capacity to endure difficulties without giving in to despair. When you practice patience, you develop a kind of quiet strength, a resilience that helps you bounce back from challenges and keep moving forward with hope. This resilience is crucial because every meaningful journey will encounter obstacles. The 3 Ps that make. It's not a matter of if, but when. Patience prepares you to face those moments with courage and grace. Importantly, patience in your journey does not mean complacency or passivity. It is 3 Ps. It does not mean waiting without action or abandoning your dreams until the right time. Rather, it means doing the work diligently while trusting the process. It's about balancing effort with acceptance. These that make, pushing forward with purpose while allowing life to unfold naturally. This balance creates harmony and flow in your journey. As you practice patience, you also build humility. Recognize that you are part of a larger story. Make like one that extends beyond your immediate desires or plans. This humility opens your heart to learning from experiences from others and from life itself. 3 Ps that make. It teaches you that growth often requires surrendering control and trusting that the universe is working in your favor. Finally, patience brings peace. When you let go of the frantic need to rush, you invite calm and clarity into your mind and spirit. You can enjoy the journey, savoring small wins and moments of joy along the way. This peace becomes a source of strength and inspiration that fuels your continued pursuit of your deep why. So in your journey to discover your deep why, practice patience. These 3 Ps that make. Let it be your anchor when the waves of doubt and frustration rise. Let it be your guide through the slow seasons and your shield against the temptation to quit. Remember that every great story unfolds in its own time. These are the 3 Ps that make. And when you cultivate patience, you prepare yourself not just to reach your destination, but to enjoy and grow through every step of the journey. As we come to the close of this journey together, these are the 3 Ps that make. I want you to feel deep in your soul that discovering your deep why is the most powerful act you can do for yourself. It is the spark that lights your fire, the compass that guides your steps through every challenge. To the 3 Ps that make and the heartbeat that keeps you alive. Remember, your why is not something distant or unreachable. It's already within you, waiting for you to recognize it, nurture it, and let it guide you boldly forward. These are the 3 P's that make. You have learned that this journey is not a sprint, but a marathon of faith, patience, and relentless action. Each step you take, listening to your pain, giving yourself permission to dream, writing down your dreams. 3 P's that make are gaining clarity, surrounding yourself with support, connecting your why to contribution, taking action, building habits, learning from failure, silencing doubt, celebrating progress. 3 P's that make and practicing patience. These are the building blocks of a life lived with purpose and passion. So stand tall, look within, and embrace your why with everything you have. Let it fuel your courage when the road gets tough. P's that make, and let it light your path when the darkness creeps in, and let it be the unwavering reason you refuse to quit. The world needs your dreams, your gifts, your unique contribution. Your why is your power. Discover it, live it. P's, and watch your life transforms beyond anything you ever imagined. Now's the time. Step into your greatness. Your why is waiting, and your journey starts right here, right now. Leave it. Own it. Live it. Because you are destined for greatness, and your why will carry you there.